Good Monday evening. We're getting ready for a powerful Kona low. This is a significant storm that we haven't seen across the islands for quite some time, and it's coming in two distinct waves of active energy. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Robbins with the latest on this Kona low. We have a string of first alert weather days starting with Kauai and Oahu, at least starting tomorrow into Wednesday, and then making its way down the island chain as the week progresses. This Kona low is going to pull up deep tropical moisture from the south, acting like a pulley, pulling up that moisture and directing it over the western end of the state initially. Periods of heavy rain, the possibility of flooding is a big concern for us. You can see, looking at this water vapor imagery, there's the center of the Kona low pulling up that deep tropical moisture. It's also associated with cold air aloft, and that's what's going to trigger some thunderstorms and also bring up the intensity. When it comes to the intensity of thunderstorms in the forecast, some of them can actually range from severe levels. So something we're watching very carefully. That means powerful straight line winds and also heavy downpours. We can actually see initially over the western end of the state, some of this locked in over the terrain and could bring us hours after hours of rain before it starts moving over towards the eastern end of the state. Here are some of the components of this complex weather system. We're going to have strong winds associated with it, also heavy rain and thunderstorms and multiple days of impacts, like I said, coming in two waves. Let's break that forecast down for you. We have a flood watch up initially starting for Kauai tomorrow morning, lasting through Saturday, and then we're going to see that over the gathering place Tuesday evening into Saturday afternoon, and then Maui County finally seeing some action Wednesday morning into Saturday. Eventually, Hawaii Island will see a steady line of very powerful thunderstorms come their ways sometime by the end of the week into the early part of the weekend, and that will likely be added into the flood watch when that window comes a little bit closer. But the gusts are going to be a big concern. Also, a lot of flooding. We already saw saturated grounds the last couple of weekends, especially over some of those windward Amalca neighborhoods. And I don't want you to pay attention to the rainfall totals, but some of the weather models are showing up to 12 to even more inches of rain. But it's the amount of rain we can get in a short amount of time, which is concerning for us. You see through the satellite imagery where the Kona low is parked, and it's going to be a slow moving system. Kona lows are detached from the jet stream, so there's no big steering winds to move that storm from west to east, so it's going to just sit offshore for the next several days. Already seeing some activity off of Kauai. This is where it's going to all begin, and we are going to be seeing lots of activity there within the next 24 hours. So this is the first wave, Tuesday into Wednesday. We're talking about thunderstorms that could be intense at time, and then the next wave is coming our way, which is a secondary wave, even stronger wave, late Thursday into early Friday over on Kauai. So initially, the western islands will see all the action, and then slowly this is going to build up towards the east. Eventually, gusty winds will be developing too. We will be seeing very gusty conditions following this system Friday into Saturday over the gathering place. The big concern is over those windward slopes. So we saw this earlier within the last couple of months with strong winds impacting some of the windward neighborhoods, and we'll see that again with this system, especially Friday into Saturday. Like for Kauai, the peak of the first round of heavy rain comes our way Wednesday. It could be intense at times, but the second wave more intense, where we could have really heavy rainfall rates. And then eventually this is marching down from west to east. We will be seeing the most intense rain for Maui County and Hawaii Island come our way Friday into Saturday. We're talking about a steady line of thunderstorms moving in. Kihei, it's going to be a big concern for flooding, and also we're going to be watching the possibility of snow on the mountains for Hawaii Island with this secondary wave. This is where the most intense part of the system is going to be impacting Hawaii Island. They'll likely be getting a fair amount of rain by the time we get into the end of the week. Let's step on through the first alert rain futurecast here. Here's Tuesday at 7 o'clock. You can see piles up over the western end of the state when it comes to that deep tropical moisture. This is where it's going to sit for quite some time initially. Wednesday, a very active day. Not seeing a whole lot of action Wednesday morning for Maui County and Hawaii Island. You see a dry slot there, but we could have some sporadic downpours by Wednesday afternoon. That's going to be ahead of this system coming coming our way even for Hawaii Island and parts of Maui County. But the most intense rain hangs on from Kauai all the way to the gathering place. A little bit of a break by Wednesday night, more sporadic in nature. And then by the time we get into Thursday, we'll have on and off sporadic downpours, still heightened intensity when it comes to the instability. But it's not until Friday, that second wave we're talking about, that this is going to be a very powerful system. You can see the first wave paves the way to saturated grounds. So the big concern will be downed trees, power outages, especially by the time we get into Friday. By 11 o'clock, you can see that moisture surges in, and then pretty much everywhere on Friday is going to be seeing this steady line of moisture, but the most intense is going to be over the gathering place before it moves over Maui County and then eventually Hawaii Island. Here we are at Saturday at 9:30, still hanging on over Molokai, parts of Maui County, and you see some of those sporadic showers even faced on Hawaii Island, and that's probably when the snow will start to begin too. And it's going to vary place to place of how much rain we get. If there's thunderstorms, we could actually see severe thunderstorms and hail in the forecast, something we haven't seen for quite some time. But astounding numbers we're talking about. Anywhere from an inch to 13 to 14 inches of rain after this multiple day of rain. And we're talking about 5 days or so of on and off showers. As far as tomorrow, surface is going to be small, but stormy conditions will be coming our way. So keep it tuned here, your First Alert team. You can see a lot of moving parts. We have First Alert weather days for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even lasting through Friday and Saturday.